against your skin. Running through the chaos, letting all the sin. Temptation in a bottle, ready for the night. Craving for the thrill, it's time to ignite. Dark desires burning bright. Echoes in the dead of night. No retreat, no looking back on this heart attack.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you on this Saturday night? It's good to see you all. I am late, and everyone's going to be like, Ping, we already spoke about this ad nauseum for hours. But yeah, anyway, I'm going to give you my take on it now. Everyone's like, no, I can hear the chants from here. But hey, it's good to see you all. I don't know if you saw this, but the sheriff who's supposed to be looking for Nancy Guthrie was spotted at a baseball game this evening, and people were none too happy about it, saying like, he's allowed to have all these free time or whatever, but heading to a public basketball game and doing that while there's someone missing is not a great idea. Hey, Missy Motormouth, how are you? Oh, Ping, you need to go to JLR Investigates. I think he blocked me. I don't know if I can access any of his stuff. Not that I've ever met him or talked about him. I have no idea. But I don't know if I am able to go to his page. He's live and he's in front of Annie's house. They have a search warrant. Cops and coyotes. What are coyotes? Like the actual dogs coyotes, or like people who traffic people coyotes? Are going crazy. Coyotes? Like I'm confused at your meaning of a coyote. I'm worried if you mean like for some reason there's human trafficking people hanging around, and you're like, wow, look at all the coyotes. They're going crazy. And you're like, why are they here in a missing person investigation? I'll look up that in a minute, but that is interesting information. A search warrant for Annie's house. Wow. I mean, that is concerning. First, let's go over this bit. I know everyone's watched it already. It came out like 5 hours ago now. But I just want to play it just for, because I have to. It's my job. Yeah, let's play this bit right here. It's very short, very, very short. That's what all the girls say. All right, here.
It said, personally, I don't think this is a good video. I think that they possibly got some bad information. And again, who knows? Listen, everything's the best. Please return anything, but just
play it. It's here.
Message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
So, Chad, what in particular?
And
here's Savannah.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Now, I've already commented on Twitter what I said when this first came out. So when this first came out, I posted on Twitter, got a lot of comments, likes, whatever you want to call it. And I said, that new video from the Guthrie family almost gives the vibes the kidnappers, if it is them, has told the family that Nancy is dead. It reads almost like a negotiation for the return of her remains. And I said, I hope I'm very wrong. And it's just the language involved in it. The language in the whole thing just sounds wrong. It doesn't sound like something like if you had opened up communication with the kidnappers somehow and they had your mother, You wouldn't be like, oh, this thing is very valuable to us. You would be like, we love our mum, we want her back, we'll pay anything. You wouldn't be talking as if you're talking about a commodity. Because that's almost what it seems like when they're talking, like a commodity. Like you're like, you have our 2 liters of milk. We would like you to return our 2 liters of milk. It is very valuable to us. We would like to celebrate it when it is returned to us. This 2 liters of milk means a lot to us. It's very strange, like phonics or like whatever you want to call it. It's very just weird. I think it's a very odd message. Top Secret 2 said, I hope, yeah, I hope I'm wrong as well. Oh, they said Nancy is still alive and Savannah sent the money and she'll be returned tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Who said this? I haven't seen this reported anywhere. Who said this? Am I behind? Was there a breaking news that came out that I'm not aware of? Let me double check. I mean, I've been on top of this for the last couple of hours. I hear, yeah, they agreed to pay the abductors. Yeah, let me check this one here. Yeah, I don't have that. I see that they've agreed to pay. That's it. Oh, a psychic on YouTube said it. Well, you know, I don't know. Joe said, well, the psychic got the Idaho Fall thing right, so why wouldn't we listen? Well, yeah, sure. I I mean, I think for some people, psychics hold value. Ping doesn't really have that opinion, especially with true crime. I think for some people who are into it, like if you like tarot cards and you know you're into that type of thing, great. It's great, right? Gives you something in life. It's something you enjoy, and you get some sort of spiritual something out of it. Fantastic. I hope it brings you many joy. But in regards to true crime, I am not a fan. I don't think it adds anything, and um, I don't know. I've I've not seen a lot of proof of anything that it's ever done much, and I know a lot of people point to the Idaho Fall thing, and what's the other one? The Lori Vallow, where the children were found. But I mean, it's just my opinion. You don't have to agree with it. Not everyone will. It's just my opinion. Gayla said, okay in some areas, but I wouldn't trust just anyone in this sort of situation, especially when if there's a life at stake, I don't know. The message sounded very ominous that we had earlier. Steve said, I don't believe it, but hopefully she is right. Hey, hopefully. Hopefully. We all hope that she is alive. Snapcrackle Pop says, I pray that she is returned and all right. Yeah, I hope we're wrong. I hope everyone who thinks that this message is a concession that she is dead is all wrong and we get proven wrong. Because I don't think anyone wants an 84-year-old woman to be, you know, that reminds most people, if you're a maybe a white person like me, reminds everyone of their granny. Like she looks like everyone's granny, right? And I don't think any of us want to think that anything bad happened to her. So it just ominous wording, and especially that first bit. Where was it? There was a first sort of word she used. Where is it? Yeah, let me see if we can just play it quickly.
We received your message and we understand.
Yeah, it's that bit. We received your message and they say they understand. Almost like a concession is being made. my train of thought went to like two different ways on this. Is this someone continuing their ruse of this sort of Bitcoin scam? And these people who do these type of scams are very good at spinning stories. And like they're, now, oh, first they wanted the Bitcoin. Now they're like, oh, but she's dead because she died from a medical illness. They are so adept at like making bullshit stories up and spinning people along for as long as they think it'll take to get the money. So, or it's real. And in this particular situation, they've got some sort of either proof of life or non proof of life. And this is why they've reacted in this particular way. But that's where my two thoughts went when I sort of broke down the video, listened to it very carefully, and was like, what do I see here based on what we already know? And I mean, that's what I think anyway. Kelly said all there was a threat made, maybe. Well, they already have a deadline. Monday is the second deadline. So if you wanted to take the ransom note as real, then you would have to consider that time is running out. For whatever it said in that note, time is running out because we got told there was something in that first ransom note that said, pay this money by the deadline or else. So if you're going to take it as serious, even if you can't be 100% sure, then yeah, your time's running out. It's been days since you got that first letter, even though you got a follow up. So there you go. I think that could be it too. Hey, Shuri, how are you? Why is Annie trying to cry so hard? I don't know. Look, I don't know this woman, and outside of this particular story, I've never seen her before in my life. So it's very hard for me to judge her and what she's doing. It may seem really foreign to us, and it may seem strange, and I do think some of her behavior just comes across as weird, but I don't know the woman. And unless I had spent a year with her and I knew her and hung out with her a few times, I think it's hard for me to say whether this is how she normally is or she acts differently in other situations. Like, it's very hard to judge someone off a 20-second video. So, but I agree. Some of the things she does and says and the way she words things sort of irk me the wrong way. Gail said, I think she's trying to hold in her emotions. Savannah is very emotional in the video. She cries through it. She dabs her eyes and her nose several times. So some people are emotional, some people are not. Top Secret 2 said, don't know what is normal for her. Yeah, that's the problem I have is that I don't know her. And it's not like it's a public person where we have a trove. Like, say if it was me, say say Mrs. Ping went missing and someone kidnapped her, and then I was doing a ransom video on here, you guys would all be able to pick it apart to pieces because I have hundreds of hours of video. You can go back and see what I'm like. So you guys would know very quickly if I was lying, if I was, really emotional or not. It'd be very easy to tell because I have a back record of, normal everyday videos. This lady, we don't really. So it's hard to know. Hey, Penguin, how are you, my friend? You missed supper tonight, but not feeling hungry. I'm sorry, my friend. I hope you're not getting sick again. I hope you're not getting ill. I will look at JLR's thing in a minute. All right. I know a lot of people really want to watch that. I've sent him an email. I know people are saying it's okay if you use it or whatever, but I want his permission, not just random permission. So I've shot off an email to him, and if he replies, then I will use the video. It's the only right thing to do, and I would hope that other channels would do the same for me. That if they wanted something from me, they would reach out first and ask. So I've asked him. We'll see if he replies. Cherie said the biggest red flag to me is though it took 72 hours for the ransom to not come. That's a long time with an 84-year-old with mobility and health issues. I agree that the timeline to me is weird because, and I think I've said it before, if your main aim is to get the money, why the delays? Why is there delays and roadblocks at every turn? Wouldn't you have planned this? So you break in, well, I don't know if they broke in, we don't know. But they get into the house somehow, they disconnect the cameras, they go in, they get this elderly lady. Wouldn't you already have the ransom note prepared? And then you either leave it there for family to find, or you send it to them via whatever communication that Nancy gives to you. This is my daughter's mobile number. Send it through this. Why so many days later? It doesn't make any sense, especially with a woman who you may or may not have her medication and may be getting iller and more ill as time goes on. So there's definitely some sort of red flags here. If I had a little red flag, like on catfish, I would be waving it like this. um, I hit morning said, my eldest never cries in front of anyone, not extremely close to her since toddlerhood. She would look unconcerned in front of cameras if someone she loved was kidnapped and then break down in private. True, that is true. I Some people are like that. Hey, how are you? Margaretti? Is that your last name? It's a nice last name. It's sounds very fancy. Let's see here. I saw someone that said um they were going to tell Mrs. Ping. That's all right. She was right here. She heard it. So she was standing about 2 feet that way when I said it. So she's all right. Um, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, I think everyone might be wondering. Top Secret to You said maybe she already passed before the first email. It would not surprise me. In a lot of kidnappings, it's not uncommon for people to either accidentally or deliberately kill the hostage and then still continue on trying to get the ransom. They do it because they go, oh crap, we've accidentally killed our hostage. This is the thing that was going to get us the money, our bargaining chip. And there has been cases before where they have accidentally or deliberately killed the hostage and then still continued on saying, we have them, give us the money. And it's turned out that the hostage has been dead the whole time. Yeah, it panicked. Right. I agree with you. So yeah, some odd points here. I am wanting to see. Yeah, I was wondering that too. Hey Taz, how are you? Good to see you. There's yeah, I know it is JLR, right? I've reached out to JLR. I will see if he replies, and then I'll use his footage. But I can't just take it from him. I don't feel like that's fair. I wouldn't do that to another creator. Um, yeah, so a lot of people have reported it. I wish there was like, where are the media tonight? Are they all having a night off? Are they all having the day off? Um, I'm just trying to see if there's another, because there's media all outside of the homes. Why is no one other than JLR live streaming it? So I'm gonna just check ABC 3 and 15 were both supposed to have people out there. Hold on, let me have a look. Did everyone go home for Saturday night? Everyone decide to go home for the Super Bowl? Oh, here. Actually, I see something. Yeah. Hold on, ladies and gents. I saw something. It was like posted only a couple of minutes ago. Here. Is this it? Okay, there is a little bit of footage here from News 12. Here, I'm going to take you to that while we wait. Yeah, they're out the front by the looks of it. A lot of people out the front. You know, it was funny. Before I take you to this video, I was watching Fox News earlier. they had like a live camera or drone or something. Do you know what was funny? I saw JLR in their footage walking around a cop car filming it. And I was like, he's right there. I was wondering if anyone else noticed it, but he was right there walking around the cop car with his camera like this. And I was like, he's ended up in the Fox News aerial footage. I thought it was pretty funny. All right, let's play this little bit here.
Out to the FBI for comment on the Guthrie family's latest video, but they declined to provide a statement. We still haven't heard from the Pima County Sheriff's Department about this as well. As far as here at Annie Guthrie's home, we are seeing a little bit of activity. You have security right outside the driveway, right behind me, along with two what we believe to be undercover investigators that we've been seeing go inside the home. That's all that we've been seeing here, but we do know that this is still a very much an active and ongoing situation. We're live in Tucson. Chase Golightly, 12 News.
Chase, thanks. And he just mentioned something that we were ready to report. As the Guthrie's message grows more desperate, and you can hear it with each passing video message that they post, authorities say the investigation continues to be active.
Yeah, that's right. Gabriella Becerra is live outside of Nancy Guthrie's home. And Gabby, you've been...
There we go. There seem to be a lot of reporters, but none of them actually reporting that for some reason. I know a lot of people pointed out Brian Enton can't use anything from News Nation. News Nation are very litigious, and if I use anything from them, I'll just get a copyright strike in seconds, unfortunately, which is their right. It's their content, but I can't use it. Can't use anything from Brian either. Let me have a look. I'll see if there's any other media out there. Which I'm so surprised, like they haven't jumped on it. I see JLR's one, I see mine here. Is that it? Are we the only two live streaming right now about it? Ikid Mel's out there. He's just doing a live. Is he doing a live stream? Yeah, he's live too. But no one else? I don't know what's going on at the moment. Yeah, a lot of people are using the same footage from JLR. Yeah. All right. Yeah, a lot of people re-streaming his footage, but again, I won't use it until he tells me it's okay. Let's see. Brian he has his own channel, Brian Enton. It's just called Brian Enton, but I'm pretty sure he would follow the same rules as his employer. Snap Crackle Pop says there's something going now. It's live. Yes, I see it. There's no media live stream except for JLR. That's it. All right. If I use it and I get copyright struck from him, I'm gonna point him back to all of you guys. I'm gonna say it's all your fault. They've been at her house. All right, I'll put it on for a little bit. All right. Thanks to JLR Investigates for the video. Yeah, let's have a look. Oh, we got to go full screen. There we go.
It's leaving. All right, it's coming out. Deputy. The deputy. The deputy. The deputy. Yeah, the deputy. Badge on. Okay. One. All right. The deputy. I don't know. All right. Yes, a deputy.
Deputy.
Yeah, it was a deputy. Yeah, they're tired. All right, so now we have.
Yeah, I'm just going to mute the audio for a minute because they're not really talking about anything. They're just live streaming it. So I'll tell you what I think. That's a large police presence, whether they're just doing an update or something. Normally they just send a patrol or an SUV out and just rock up with a few officers. To have this many rock up at this time of night is a bit strange. But like if they're doing a search warrant, I wonder what they're looking for at this time of night. See, what time is it? Arizona's on. Hold on, Arizona. It's about 10:26 p.m. local time right now over there. So, pretty late at night for this to be happening. I would have thought if they were going to execute a search warrant, it'd be early in the morning. They like to get people when they're waking up, so they're unaware. To do this late, and I see people saying they've been there for a few hours now. That's weird. I don't really understand why it would happen now. It's a bit weird. They've been taking a lot of photos. There's been a lot of flashes going off inside the home. They've been there since before 8, so 3 hours. That makes sense. Everyone's been saying between 2 to 3 hours. Let's see what happens here. It looks like they're leaving now. We already saw one car leave. Now there's the other one. Probably see that third one leave in a minute too. Let's have a look. Kelly said someone a little bit ago said the neighbors called the cops, but I don't know if that's true. Then why would they hang around for 3 hours if someone called the cops? They would just do a patrol, tell the media to back off, don't enter the driveway, don't enter private property, that type of thing, and then they'd go. And they wouldn't bring 3 or 4 cars with them. Does anyone know if it was the sheriff? Did the sheriff actually come, or is it just his deputies? I want to know whether he actually turned up or it's just his minions. Yeah, 2 to 3 hours for a search warrant of a full house does not seem like much. It doesn't sound right. Normally, well, some search warrants only go for an hour or two. They know what they're looking for, whether they're coming in just to get electronic equipment or something like that. They're only there for a quick time. So 2 to 3 hours, I wouldn't think that is a low amount of time for a full house search warrant. I've seen them done in an hour or two. That's what I mean. Like if they're just looking for electronic devices or paperwork, cameras, something like that. It looks like they're taking off now. It looks like they're leaving. That's what I mean. Like there's a lot of media here, but there's no one live streaming except for JLR. Thank you for the video live from the scene. I appreciate it. But there's no one else. Look at all the cameras. There's heaps of them. There's heaps of cameras with lights all over the place. Yeah, it's Annie's house. Yeah. There's the another guy. Now he's going. This looks like they're wrapping up now. And that'll be it. I think there's another car on the street maybe as well. This is a question because I didn't watch the previous 2 hours. Was there any evidence bags taken out? Because that would be telling, whether they took those giant bags out, those brown ones that they seal, or the clear bags that they put the lock on it. That would be interesting to know. Rubber gloves on? That's a good pickup. Marlene said Nancy took her Uber to dinner that night and they were the one she was with. That's right. So she went to this home to have dinner, play some board games or card games, and then she went home. Like we all do that with family. I do that with my family. You guys probably do it too. It's not abnormal. Her husband has not been mentioned for a bit, like a day or two. I think the Ashley Banfield thing, where she named him as a prime suspect, I think that kind of shut down that line of inquiry for a minute. I don't think anyone wants to get sued. Kelly says, I keep saying everything the sheriff denies turns out to be super interesting. They are at the sister or son-in-law house for hours now, and yesterday didn't take any boxes from there. It's a good point. There was a silver briefcase they took in there. It's normally a camera. Normally, if it's a silver briefcase, it's probably video equipment, something like that, video, photographic. Yeah, looks like it. I don't think we're waiting on him. Let me just check the audio of what JLR is saying.
Thoughts, folks, thoughts. What do you think they got?
All right. Sounds like he's saying they've basically left. Hey, I'm going to just leave it there. I don't want to take his coverage. I don't feel right about it. I'll switch to our other thing. But yeah, thank you for that. I hope someone passes on the message of thanks to him from me. And I'll close that down. Very interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Hey Anita, how are you? Yeah, Ashley Banfield should be sued. She's not going to be. Even if someone brought a lawsuit, News Nation is gonna back her 100%. I can tell you how I know this because there's been media, even in Australia, that have said the wrong thing, had lawsuits or civil against them, and nothing ever happens. It never makes it very far. They either settle with the people or they come to an agreement to remove it. It never goes anywhere. Kelly Girl said, well, they had the CSAM team out there too. That was weird that they had the ICAC, is that what it is? The ICAC team, the Internet Crimes Against Children team. That was weird. I still don't have a good explanation to give you about that. And I've not is it who does she work for now? I got to tell you, I don't watch Ashley Banfield, so I don't know who she works for. I just know that she used to work for them. So if she doesn't work there anymore, I'm sorry, but I don't know who she works for or where she works. I don't know. Sorry. Sorry about that. Steve said you wouldn't be the only one taking coverage. Everyone else did the same thing because they are the only live coverage. Yeah, there was no one. I find that so weird. Did everyone just go home? Did everyone go, well, my contract with, K-Gun says, oh, we don't do any live coverage on a Saturday night because it's triple overtime. So we're just going to go home. It's weird. Like they were there all week, had their live streams going, but as soon as it hit the weekend, they're like, nah, we're not going to live stream anything. Very strange. Oh, she did? She left and does her own thing now? Okay, I have no idea, guys. I get so busy doing the stuff that we do on here and working the stories that we do that I barely have time to watch other channels like I do or other people. Very rarely. She got fired that long ago? Wow, see, that's how far back my knowledge goes about her. She got fired from News Nation during the Shannon Watts murder. Wow, that was years ago. Yeah, I learned this the other day that there's a light ordinance out there that after a certain time, you have to turn off all your lights, like the ones on the outside. That's really interesting because you live in the city, there is no such thing. We live here in Melbourne, Australia. No one turns off their lights out the front at night. The whole place it's super bright. You go outside, everyone's got their porch lights on or the floodlight in their driveway. No one does it here. I read about that the other day that they have an ordinance that says any outward facing lights you have to turn off. I think it's after 10:30 or 9:30 or something like that. Yeah, really interesting. Anita said she's going only on her own podcast. Ah, okay. I I always thought, I don't know what I thought. I just thought she worked there. 96 in chat. Please leave a like for Ping. If you could, I would appreciate it. We don't spend our time. What do they call it when the other channels do it? Like begging our subscribers to donate or do the thumbs up thing or subscribe. We just hope that people will like the content and do it on their own. We believe that everyone's an adult and they can do it on their own. They don't need reminding every 2 minutes like some channels do. Linux said there are some dark sites in Melbourne. Oh yeah, but far out, like really far out there is, but not in the city. She never got fired. That's false info. Okay. Thavi said not monetized. Not monetized. No, we are monetized, but don't we don't harass our viewers for it. Let's have a look. Yeah, she has that one too. All right, let's keep going. Like you can see in the photo here, the sheriff was at that baseball game earlier tonight. A lot of criticism coming out about him, basically saying, how can you go to this big baseball game earlier in the night while you have a family putting out this third video of them begging for their mother's return? I don't know what you all think, whether you think that is poor leadership, but it wouldn't be the first bit of criticism of him this week. He's had a lot of criticism, giving out information and then walking it back, saying things that he can't back up with anything, opening up the crime scene, closing it, opening it, closing it, opening it again. A lot of different criticism of the sheriff recently. Top Secret 2 said maybe he needed to get away. Apparently he was working day and night. Yeah, I don't I'm not critical of him being there. I'm sure he has 1,000 deputies that are working the case, and if something serious happened, they would call him and be like, "Hey, we need you to come right now. Like you have to leave and go to wherever," and he'd probably do it. Shuri says Americans treat sports seriously. Well, that is true. Hey, Super Bowl tomorrow. Patriots versus a team I can't name. As a 49ers fan, I can't say the words because they don't exist in my vocabulary. But there is another team playing. They are from Seattle. No, shh. That's like Voldemort. Can't say that word in here. Can't say it. Birds. Just random birds. The bird team. Yeah, the bird team. Yeah, so if you're a fan of either team, tomorrow will be a nail-biting day. As a Niners fan who's lost 2 Super Bowls in the last, like, 5 years, I can tell you Super Bowl when your team is playing is so stressful. You just will wear a hole in the carpet, I promise. It is, not a fun game for your team. Marlene says, "Super Bowl looking good movie you're looking for a good movie instead." Cali Girl says Super Bowl is here in Santa Clara. As a 49ers fan, I know that. And they were having big events all day today. Christian McCaffrey did the Super Bowl breakfast this morning, which was pretty cool. Not a football fan? How could you live in America and not be a football fan? I feel like that goes against the Constitution of America. There's probably some thing in there that says thou shall be football fan, either college or NFL. Something there. Oh, you have a telescope? Okay. All right, let's keep going. So that is interesting. There is a lot of people, we discussed it last night, that think the son-in-law Annie's husband, Annie or Anne, Annie, right? Annie's husband is basically the prime suspect, and I think a lot of it came from Ashley Banfield. Unfortunately, she stirred that pot, and now that's all anyone can think about. So we don't actually know. So it's we've got to be careful about naming him as anything right now. Linux said, my favorite football quote was from Knight Rider. Michael Knight says to Kit, football is like buttermilk, you like it or you don't. It's probably true. You either like it or you don't. Um, Anita says, I'm not even a football fan, but I watch the Super Bowl every year. Every year except for this one. Normally the music is pretty good on the halftime show. The one this year, I'm not a fan. I won't be watching it. I don't really like his music or anything. I think it's a pretty boring choice for someone. I think they were trying to get Taylor Swift and she just went, "Nah, I'm good." And she didn't want to do it. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. By the way, I got some further insight into what the cops were doing yesterday. So you know how we were talking on the show last night and we are saying, why were the cops looking down all the time when they were on the roof of Nancy's home? Well, I found out. I was able to find out why they were doing that. And you won't believe it when I tell you. The reason they were walking the perimeter of the home on the roof and looking down the wall is because they missed that camera on the little that little secondary structure. They missed that camera and they were checking to see whether there were any other cameras that they might have missed. That's all it was. They were just double checking from the roof to see if there was any other cords or cameras or anything else installed on the roof. So a very plain, boring explanation, and I'm sorry, but that's what it was. They were looking for any other cameras. That's all it was. Let's have a look. I might have a photo of them doing it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll see if I've got one for you. I don't. By the way, did you see that there was some news company that was using um like night camera on the property yesterday? They were using like a night vision camera while the authorities were there. I thought that was pretty interesting. Let me just check here. Yeah, here. Our browser is working very slowly. Yeah, there we go. Ugh. Why don't we have that photo? Here we go. It's not the greatest version of it. You guys are just going to have to deal with it. But it was here when they were walking along. God, geez, the browser is working so slow. Here, where the agents were on the roof, walking around that edge, checking under things, and then walking around the main building. Yeah, I found out. That's all it was. Oh, you guys can't see it. Our StreamYard is not working properly tonight. I don't understand what's going on. Here. When this happened yesterday, while they're on this roof with the ladder, that's what they were doing. It's because they missed the camera several times already. So they were told to go back out there and scour that roof for any other things like that. Gail said Trish kept freezing. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. The StreamYard is really delayed. Anytime I touch something, it just takes like 10 seconds to do it. Normally it's like instant, like you just do it and you can keep going. But now you sort of click on something and it takes its time. So I think there might be a problem with StreamYard. Hey Ryan, are you the real Ryan Hall? In Eminent episode 483, a character passionately declares, "She is valuable to me. We are willing to pay what you want." Very interesting. It's very interesting. Thanks for that. I don't know if I've ever watched that or read that particular media. Let's have a look. Linux says, "What, the roof wasn't full of secret crypto codes?" That's where they keep the Bitcoin. That's where everyone keeps their Bitcoin, on the roof. No, yeah, no Bitcoin. Anita said, "I think that's when they were looking through the bush around the house. They could have been looking for the smashed cameras." I think they already found some. This was because on this little building here, there was a camera, and for some reason, they didn't notice it before. A neighbor called into authorities and said, "Do you know that you left a camera on that building?" And they went, what camera?" And he's like, "The one right across from my property. I can see it on the roof of the home." So it was actually a neighbor who called in and told them about it and said, "Hey, I can still see it there." So it took a neighbor to call in to get them to go back out there. Hey, Evolve, Peace, Love, how are you? Past 3 hours, search warrant was executed at Annie's house. They just left. Yeah, we actually just had it on from JLR's channel. We had the footage going, but thank you. I appreciate it. Kim said they are responding in TV quotes. Um, I think the one the other day they did. I'm not 100% sure about the one today. I've seen a couple of people claim that they know what it's from for the little video today, but I've not seen anything conclusive. But definitely the other one was a quote from a movie. Marlene said that is one big house, like 5,000 square feet plus. It is a large home, right? It is. I believe you. And we can all see it. Hey, Noble One, how are you? At this point, the ransom explanation doesn't appear to be strongly supported by available facts. I think that's sort of well, the facts that are publicly known. I think you have to add that caveat. I agree with you. I've always thought the ransom notes don't make any sense because anyone who would go to this much effort to kidnap an 84-year-old woman, like imagine the planning that had to be involved. You have to get in there, you have to take her, you have to get away from the area. They wouldn't wait till, what was it, Wednesday morning to send out a ransom note. And if it is found out that it really is from the people who took her, then there must be an alternate explanation of why it took that long. And the one I can think of is money wasn't the primary gain to take her. And it was just like, oh, we should send a ransom note because that's what we're supposed to do. And that's the only thing I can come up with. Um, Hey, is your name Sebastian? Hey, Sebastian. If I am Tommaso, I am worried. I think a lot of the family would be worried. I think you're right. I like your display photo. Silence of the Lambs. It was definitely there was a clip. Someone overlaid what Savannah said to the movie. I don't have it on me, but it was going around on social media last night. Good to see you guys. A lot of new people in the chat. Hit that like button and the subscribe button if you can. I would appreciate it. Ping would personally give you a high five like this. I would. Brian said, I wonder fight and they freaked out. That was what someone brought up earlier is that if they kidnapped her and it's happened, in other kidnapping cases, people have been taken and they've been killed, not on purpose, but accidentally in the sort of the high stakes thing of actually abducting them. They've actually ended up killing their hostage. Maybe that happened here. You never know. I wonder if she was ever brought home as well. The taking of her car was interesting. I would want to know more about that. Hey, Catherine, how are you? Brian Enton has his own channel. Yes, he does. It's just called Brian Enton. In my opinion, he should have called it News Daddy, but apparently he doesn't like that name, which I think it's great. I I think it's a great name for him. I love Brian Enton. Please don't take that as a negative. I think he's great, but I think that would have been a cool name for his channel, considering everyone's been calling him that for like 5 years, and I know he doesn't like the name. So Kelly said, "I can't remember the last time we saw a kidnapping play out in real time in the media like this." The last time we had a kidnapping, it probably might have been the little girl in WA. In Australia. Does everyone remember that one? There was a little girl that was camping with her mum and dad, and in the middle of the night, someone came in and took the little girl. That's probably the last big kidnapping that I can remember. Cleo, yeah, that's the last big kidnapping that I can sort of remember. That you know, they took someone, they don't know where they are. It's like a multi-week search for them. So Cleo is the last one I remember. Khalees said, "Yeah, I remember that one. People were blaming her parents." Yes, they did, and it had nothing to do with them. It was a crazed guy who, for whatever reason, abducted a little girl, took the little girl to his home. He lived like a street away from the family, that close. And for 27 days or 21 or 27 days, this little girl was held captive in a home down the street from her parents. It was really weird. He kept her in a room full of these brats, dolls, kept her in there, treated her as if she was a doll. It was really bizarre, really weird. No idea what it was fully about. Hey, Spacey Tracy. Hey, my friend. Good to see you. Their statement is very much what the FBI would suggest someone to say to kidnappers. I don't know. I feel like the message today was, if it is from the FBI, they might need someone who writes different messages. It didn't seem full of hope or connection with the kidnappers. There was no humanizing them, and it felt very cold and clinical in a way. We want to celebrate, and it's very valuable to us. It didn't seem to have any humanity to it. It was almost like they were talking about buying a loaf of bread, like a transactional. That's what it felt like to me, anyway. He was mentally ill. Yeah, he was. After the death of his mother, so his mum died a few years beforehand, and I think that set him off whatever happened. So, let's see. The chat is moving very fast. Hey, good to have you guys here tonight on my channel, Nights with Ping. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. All of you. You're all very kind. Ryan said, that line, "she's valuable and are willing to pay," is straight from a heartfelt negotiation scene. After checking around, it matches dialogue from the Turkish series Eminent or Legacy. I'll have to have a look for it, Ryan. I can't say I know either of them, but I'll have a look. Let's see. Hey, Vegemite Smile, how are you, my friend? Vegemite Smile said, "Hello, Ping. I saw you wearing a NASA hoodie a few days ago. Do you watch For All Mankind on Apple TV?" I watched I watched season 1, and I thought it was really interesting, but I felt like by the time I got to the end of season 1, and then I felt like I was done with it, and I didn't feel like I wanted to invest any more time in, when you get to that point and when you watch a show, I just sort of went, I think I've seen enough. and it was enough for me. It was good, but just yeah. But yeah, I think you'll enjoy season 1. It was quite good. Yeah, thanks. Hey, thanks for the super chat. I appreciate it, my friend. It's good to see you in the chat again. Yeah, it's been unreal. I agree. Yeah, everyone. All right. Let's take you to the update from earlier today, just so I can grab a drink. That's what it's for. I'll be honest with you all. That's all it's for. Let's go here. Yeah, let's go here. Actually, I'm going to play the rest of the video that we had up from earlier. And they just talk about a bit about the ransom note a little bit. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Family has to say there seems to be less hope that Nancy is alive. In their previous videos they released on social media, they would always demand proof that their mother was alive and also ask that she be returned safely. But the one they released today, all they ask is for their mom to be back. It's the third video released by the Guthrie family since their mother, 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, was taken against her will a week ago. Savannah, her sister Annie, and brother Cameron holding on to each other as they talk directly to the person that kidnapped her.
We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Likely referencing a ransom note sent to multiple news outlets, including KOLD in Tucson, by someone claiming they had Guthrie, demanding money for her return. KOLD news director Jessica Bobula telling NBC News they received that ransom anonymously Monday evening, 2 days after Nancy was reportedly taken. She says part of it described items Nancy had on her.
Did it say her condition, how she was doing? It did. It said we, but had her. But it's not, I'm not going to go into more details.
On Thursday, the Pima County Sheriff's Department said the ransom had a payment deadline set for Thursday at 5 p.m. and a second deadline for Monday.
Yeah. A lot of people in the chat talking about the ransom notes and what they might mean and whether they're real. That point that they just brought up about the 2 different deadlines, I wonder, because they got the FBI involved, right? Can the FBI in any of their, so they would have databases, they could look up kidnappings or people who have been abducted. How many examples in all of their research and databases could they find of a ransom note containing 2 separate deadlines? I've found that very odd because your point of kidnapping someone is to get the money, not to have the woman. You want to get paid and get to Tijuana. Why would you give the family or the authorities an out? You give them an automatic out when you say, give us the money by Wednesday at 5 p.m. Oh, but hey, if you can't do that, we'll talk on Monday. That doesn't make any sense. Your whole job as a kidnapper is to pressurize the family. You want to apply as much pressure as you can to get the money as urgently, because the more pressure you apply, the more likely they are to think it's urgent, you might hurt them, that they have to do it now. The more time you give them, to strategize, to find you, to do a raid on your location. That point always just didn't sit right with me. So have a think about that. Hey Jim, how are you? I like it. Jim, what a great name. They just raided Annie's house. I saw that they got there a few hours ago. They just left. Yep, we did see it. What did they take? I don't know. If anyone saw any of the evidence bags, tell me in the chat. Leave a description of it. What was it? Because I didn't get to see if they took anything out of the home. Marilyn said, just crazy having 2 deadlines. I agree with you. Linux said, the criminal union has created weekends off for all criminals. Apparently the media too. Yeah, that was the other one. Sebastian said mind games. It could be, but I feel like then is your goal to get the money or just to mess with the family? Because if you were serious about getting that ransom, I feel like this would have gone very differently. I feel like there's a whole bunch of different things that would have gone in a different direction. Let's have a look. Yes, that's true. Lisbeth said, why ask for a ransom when police are already involved? Every ransom request has do not call authorities or your family member is dead. It's almost like they wanted the publicity because they sent it to the media and not to the family. If a dumbass from California can find the family members' phone numbers online, I'm pretty sure kidnappers could find the family members' phone numbers online. Like there was some bumbling idiot from California uh, went into Google and searched their names and found their phone numbers. Is he smarter than the kidnappers? I don't think so because he got caught. So, very odd. Kelly said, sounds like they are not directly contacting the family and only going through the media. Yeah, which makes no sense whatsoever. All you're doing is adding a random layer to it and publicizing your demands. It's odd. Noble said Annie's car was taken, its removal later in the week, followed by inspectors returning to the home and photographing the garage, suggests something was found blood after the car search. Is that what they did? I personally didn't get to see the video. I feel like if they thought there was blood in the garage, they would have used something like a chemical reagent like luminol, or there's another one that's like a powder that can be brushed on and then has a chemical reaction on it. Then they can take photos. I would have thought there would be something like that, but who knows? Kelly said, I swear they took boxes from the garage at Annie's yesterday. I wonder if I can get photos of that. Give me a second. That's a lot of photos. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a photo from yesterday. Also, these searches, the ones of Annie Guthrie's home, have not been very publicized at all. If you look at the mainstream media, they're not even really reporting on it. They keep reporting on the same sort of several topics, and they never talk about these visits to the family member's home. And that has been going on all week. Let me just have a look. I was hoping we might get like a screenshot or something. Yeah, I don't. It looks like the only one that might have publicized it was Fox News, maybe at one point. That was a couple of days ago on February 5. So that was a few days ago. Yeah, I don't see a screenshot for what I'm looking for. Sorry, I was trying to look for one. Maybe we could look at what they were taking, but don't have one. Kelly said, that's true, Ping. The whole thing is bizarre. I agree. Tracy said, I heard they believed they were there for 40 minutes before leaving with her. That seems like something went wrong. Like maybe a burglary gone wrong and the ransom was an afterthought. If you believe the timeline, yeah, they would have to have been there for around 40 minutes because they know from the camera. The camera detected someone, it was disconnected, and then, X, Y, and Z. Hey, Jansky, how are you? Good to have you here. The photos were taken in the dark. That sounds like luminol because they need a blue light to light it up. Here, I'll show you if you've never seen it before. If you've never seen a photo of luminol, I'll show you how it's done. Let's have a look. So they often take it in the dark and then use one of these UV torches to, and they wear the special goggles as well to do it, and it'll pop up. Several things can pop up as luminol. Things like bleach, other cleaning agents can pop up and look like it. There's a lot of different things that can look like luminol or look like a reaction to the luminol. Yeah, I'll show you another version. Oh, that's not a good photo. Yeah, let me take you over here. Yeah, sorry guys. Our StreamYard's working very slow tonight. There you go. So that is sort of what luminol can look like, and depending on what it is and what they're looking for can, yeah. So maybe the darkness, maybe they were doing a reaction like this and needed the dark to actually get photos and take take evidence. So let me see what everyone else has got to say. Anita says there was speculation that he waited after disconnecting the camera to see if anyone was alerted. That wouldn't be surprising because if you don't know if there is someone waiting, if there's security, someone monitoring it, yeah, that would be a smart thing to do. Brian says allegations of criminal activity, corruption at Pima County Sheriff's Department. There are several ongoing investigations into Pima County, unfortunately, that I've read about, which is sad. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's a lot of bad things happening with Pima. Missy said, I have a feeling they're going to make a couple of arrests tonight instead of in the morning when the media is there to capture it all. I don't think the media are going anywhere. They they have sort of been camping out in front of the different homes. They can't go back to the other one, I think, because it's the street is closed off, or it was. But the media has been there almost 24 hours a day since Nancy went missing. So yeah, they ain't going nowhere. They if someone has to go home and leave, someone else will come and take over. So it's opened up again now. Okay, I know they closed it at one point. Yeah. All right. Let's continue. Everyone got their comments now. Everyone got their what they wanted to say. I really am disappointed that none of the mainstream media though have even put up an update about Annie's home. They're just all like, "No, we're not going to report on that. We're going to be selective in how we do this." It just lends itself to not good ethics. Let me check this one. Sometimes they do one. Yeah, it looks like CBS 5 Arizona Family, their last update was over 3 hours ago. It's pretty slack, pretty slack. Sean said 150 viewers, please help Ping's channel out and hit the like and subscribe. Thank you for the super chat, Sean. I appreciate it. Thank you. And that would be great if people could do that. Gayla said, I think they're avoiding due to what was said about her husband. It's not illegal to go and film police activity. You're not insinuating anything. You're just filming what is actually happening. I would love to see a lawsuit where they went, "Oh, this is discrimination or something." I don't see how you could do that. So I don't think you could get sued for filming just they're the facts. They're what's going on in the world. And you can't have an expectation of privacy in public. So I don't think you could get sued for that. So I find it strange that they are not broadcasting. Hey Pamela, how are you? Good to see you. I like your photo of is that a cardinal? That looks very cool. They had gloves on, found evidence. Say she passed out. Suspect brother-in-law and Annie. It might explain a lot of things that we've seen this week from a variety of people close to Nancy. That's all I'll say without being sued. Noble said, because it's Savannah, if it was a rando person, there would have been reports all over the media. You are very right. Photos of filming, yeah. Ah, really? Annie's husband came here in 2006 and they got married the same year. That interesting. Very interesting. I didn't know that about him. All right. Let's continue. I'll see if let's see if the Daily Mail of all places who love to do updates, let's see if they hold on, guys. Sorry, my cat hopped onto my I have a little bench here that's got fabric on it, and I just heard this noise and I was like, "What is that noise?" And I looked down and she's sitting there just tearing it to shreds. And I'm like, "Why are you doing that?" Jim said, "I just subbed to your channel. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. We work hard on this channel. We go to trials down here in Victoria, Australia. We cover crime from here, America, the UK, all different places. So I appreciate it. You'll get some good content. I promise. We're actually heading out to a trial in about 8 weeks' time, and we're heading to there's a missing woman in my state here in Victoria. Her name is Samantha Murphy. She's never been found, but they arrested someone over her murder, and he's going to trial in April. And we're actually heading out to that trial and going to be there every day in the courtroom. So if that's something that you think might interest you, getting inside information from the courtroom in this case will be very big in Australia. So if that's something that interests you, you should hit that subscribe button because that'll be coming up in April. All right, let's continue with our talking about Nancy Guthrie. Let me see. So we were checking. I was going to check if the Daily Mail actually put up their own update about Annie's home. They did not. Where are all the media? Sometimes there's a lot of people who complain about YouTubers and things like that, but it seems like people like JLR and other people, they're the only ones actually giving you guys any new video tonight. So people can complain about YouTubers all they want. Sometimes they're the only ones being transparent, really. Getting ready for football, that's what they're doing. They're all going for they're all doing their what is it? Super Bowl Sunday. Noble says, "Ping, I'm in Geelong, neighbor. Hey, good to see you. Glad to meet someone from Geelong. We'll be out near you, so we'll be in Ballarat. I know it's not. I know that's a little bit north of you, but we'll be in Ballarat in April. Currently, I live in Melbourne, so I'm on the opposite side of the bay to you." Top Secret to you said pre-Super Bowl parties. That's probably where they all are. They're all they're all getting wasted before tomorrow. Khaleesa said because there is a small possibility she walked out the door on her own. if she had a head injury, TIA, etc., and was disorientated, I feel like if she, because of her mobility issues, if she had walked out her own door and, say, walked into the desert behind her home into the foothills, they would have found her. They would have located her because she can't walk very far with her mobility issue. Her family said to the police that her walking like 50 feet or 100 feet is difficult. So how far exactly could she get, even in 12 hours? That, when the family came to check on her the next day, how far could she get in that time? Jim said, yeah, yes. So I don't believe she could do it on her own. I think that's why the police are certain that someone took her, is because she is mobility challenged, and to go any great distance, um, yeah, she would need help. What? Ping, don't you mean rooted? I'm not sure what that's in relation to. I don't know if I do mean that. Kelly said, but that doesn't mean the camera was taken. We don't know. We'll find out. Hey, J Dozens, how are you? That's a cool name. People have pointed out that there are bobcats and coyote in her near proximity. She wouldn't have made it far walking at night. It's very interesting because of a few weeks ago, not in this area, but a couple walking on a trail were attacked by a bobcat. Bobcat? No, the bobcats are the small ones, right? The big one. What's the big one called? Cougar. Cougar? Is that right? The big yellow ones. Cougar. Is it? It must be. Anyway, the big ones. Oh no, mountain lion. That's it, mountain lion. Um, there was a couple that were attacked. They were just walking down a trail, and a mountain lion attacked them, and they were seriously injured. And a couple of months before that, a woman was killed by a mountain lion. So I don't know if I'd be scared of the bobcat, but the coyotes and the mountain lions, I'd be very, very scared of. And a woman with mobility issues, she'd be a prime target for a predatory animal. Like, she can't run, she can't defend herself that well. So I don't think she's in the wilderness, because they would find remains, that they would find, what they call a kill site, which is where the big cats leave the parts of the people they don't want. So I would think that is something they would find. Missy said, when you were talking about pre-Super Bowl party and people getting drunk, when I moved to Hawaii, the first people I met were Aussies, and they taught me the word rooted and gave me a shirt with a roo. Rooted means not that. Um, rooted can mean a bunch of things, but sort of like if you said, "Oh, my car broke down," it is rooted, like it's broken. And then you could it's almost like a descriptive word. Um that's funny though, that shagged? No, it doesn't. I mean, you can use it in that way too. Like I said, it's got multiple ways of using it in Australia. Um, yeah, basically this. You could replace it with this word and use it in the ways that you would use this word, and it has the same meaning. So use rooted in the same way you would use this word, and you get the meaning of it. So I don't know why. Uh, so these people at the Super Bowl party, they That's an interesting thing. You're like, all these people doing pre-drinks at the Super Bowl party, they're all rooted. It's pretty funny. Linux says people in Australia also say cactus. My car is cactus equal busted. Yeah, it is a way of saying that too. Australians are weird. And I am Australian. Khaleesa said, I'm suspicious of the camera story. Was it smashed or taken? It was taken. There were other cameras that were smashed, according to the sheriff. We just don't know which ones, how many, that type of thing. Yeah, we know when it was removed. Yeah. Here. You guys and your weird Australian slang. You know, I taught them Australian slang, and now they use it all the time in the chat. All right, let's go here. There we go. So we do have the timeline right here, and I feel like there's really no other way you. Oh, why did it do that? Open in here. Yep, there we go. So there's no other way you can look at it. 1:47 a.m. sort of the first event that the public knows of since that garage door closed at 9:50. Then at 1:47 a.m., that doorbell camera disconnects. Now, we didn't really get a good explanation of what they mean by disconnects. Disconnects from the network, disconnects from the internet, disconnects from what? So it's a bit of a open meaning on exactly what they mean by that. But then, what is it? 13 plus 12. So like 25 minutes later, 25 minutes later at 2:12 a.m., the software detects the person on the camera, but they don't have it on video. They just know that an alert was registered by the software. So they don't even know who did it, what did it. They just know through the software it kept a log. So the software for the cameras keeps like a incident log, and you can go back and check it. And that's how they know it produced that alert, because it keeps like a text file that details it all. Hey, Thomas Dawson. Hey, nice to meet you, Thomas. If it's a son-in-law, he had help. No way he could communicate or monitor a hostage by himself. FBI has him on full surveillance since this happened. Just odd that that they had the 3 vehicles at the daughters. I would have thought everything they do, including anything with a mobile phone or any type of computer, would be so monitored that even if they tried to send a message to who is helping, they would be caught, because they are probably got trackers on all their vehicles, trackers in their phones, in their computers, in their emails, their Google accounts. Everything is probably being monitored for all of the family, not just them. So I think you're right, and they I don't know how they would do it. Top Secret 2 said, doesn't show a pic. When my door cam goes offline, I get a message that it disconnected. Maybe that, where it says doorbell camera disconnects, maybe it is in the log file. So I'm pretty sure that's how they got that information. The cameras keep a log file of all incidents. So anything that happens, whether it turns on, turns off, they connect the camera, disconnect the camera, install an update, whatever. It keeps like a little logbook, and they access that. And I think that's where they got that information. Yeah, I definitely think they're being monitored. And yes, it would be a sealed warrant. And it would only be unsealed after someone is arrested, or, something like that. Gail said Nancy's phone. Yep. Top Secret 2 said, if it disconnects, no pictures. Well, that is probably true. That's probably why we don't have any video or photos. Yeah, good to see you all. Wow, it's really busy tonight. Good to see everyone. I hope I haven't missed anyone's questions. It's been good to kind of get everyone's thoughts and things like that. Who is messaging me? Sorry, someone's messaging. Hold on. All right, here we go. Let's see. Hey, Kim. What does Kim say? Kim says, driving but listening. Hey, I hope you are. Be safe. Don't be texting and driving. Don't be podcasting and driving. Kaliza said, if it's disconnected and the camera is taken off, how could it detect a person 40 minutes later? Well, which camera was it? They didn't tell us it was the doorbell camera. At least I don't think they did. And she had multiple cameras. So was it that camera? I'm not sure. Um, I, I wanted clarification on that too, because I don't understand how the doorbell camera disconnects, but then we get a software detection of a person. Yeah, I would have thought it would have to be a different camera. It's magic. Magic cameras coming to you from Apple. That'll be what they call their cameras. When Apple get a home surveillance on the market, it's going to be called Apple Magic. I bet. Um, the family called 911 an hour later. No. The family called 911 at 12:03 p.m. That is 2:28. So like eight and a half hours later, something like that. 8.5. Yeah, yeah, there's no way it could be, because it wouldn't make sense. If the doorbell camera disconnects, then there's no other way of using it. Thomas said, Sheriff, only not FBI at daughter's house is probably evidence collection, probably just verification photos or something minimal. But why 3 cars? Wouldn't you just send a patrol out, or a detective, like just one of them? Like, I found that a little weird. Why so many cars and so many people? I would have figured you just send like, hey, you go, hey, Detective Abrams, go to the family's home and do X, Y, and Z. You know, take our photographer with you. Like that's what I would have thought, but you never know. TY, hey Brian, good to see you. Thank you. Noble said, but they changed the time whenever they checked. They changed the time when they checked on her. I didn't know if they did that. According to the sheriff, when law enforcement entered the home, it was treated as a crime scene. The sheriff keeps changing stories. No, no, no. I think the family entered the home. They called 911 and a patrol came out. PCSD. That would have been a patrol car. I'm guessing after that, higher up people like detectives and, you know, that type of thing, they would have come out. Then they would have closed the crime scene. I don't know if it would have happened straight away. The patrol would come out and take an incident report. They would take the family members' details. They would, you know, what they know, why they're here. You know, our mother has gone missing. Okay, and then they would have got detectives involved and the sheriff and X, Y, and Z. So it's takes a little while. Diane said, just got home, going directly to rewind. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Sheriff more than confused. He has definitely put a lot of information out into the public and then removed it and then put it back out there and changed it. That is a fair criticism. Yeah, seen the blood and then yeah, everything got escalated. Yeah, busy night at Annie's home. We'll find out tomorrow what that was for. Sheriff isn't confused. He is regretting opening his big mouth at first and saying too much. Now trying to act like he didn't say it. Like when they said about the forced entry. That came from him. That came from him. And now he's like, "Oh, I never said anything like that." Hey, yes, I know that. No, what I mean was like a patrol would have come out, but they would have to call detectives and um other units within the police department. Then they come out, do crime scene, shut it down, isolate the area. The patrol people maybe would put a barrier up, and that's probably it, and then wait for more people to come. So it would have taken a period of time. But hey, thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. What did Jim say? Let's have a look. The sheriff is an idiot? I don't know if he's an idiot. I don't like criticizing people like that. I would say, has he made mistakes? And I would say yes. I think he's made some blunders, and I think there's moments in the past week he would like to have back. But is he an idiot? I don't think he's an idiot. I just think that he could have done things differently. Things could have been handled in a different way. So, yeah, he's definitely backtracked a bunch of times. Gayla said everyone makes mistakes. Yeah, I don't want to call him an idiot, but I believe he has made fundamental errors in the investigation into Nancy. The way he's dealt with the media, taking phone calls until 11:30 at night, SMSing with media throughout the day, like that is like crossing a line. And I know he's trying to be helpful, but it's not a good way of doing it. Missy said, "Has anybody seen the 13-year-old son of Annie and Thomas since this happened?" I don't think I've even seen a photo of them, but I don't want to like put any children into the internet. Noble said, check out Megan Kelly and Ashley Banfield. Ashley has been threatened with legal action over her reporting. Well, we did talk about that. She brought out, well, she mentioned that her law enforcement source, who was close to the investigation, told her that the brother-in-law or son-in-law or whatever he is was prime suspect. And then she walked it back too. So, hey, Erin, how are you? You guys don't know they are processing Annie's house tonight. Yeah, we do know. We know. We had the video up before. Kelly said, I heard they are not staying at the house. Okay. Let me check. Is JLR still going? Let me have a look. I don't think there's any more cops at the looks like he finished. So yeah, he finished up. It looks like it's all sort of over for tonight. Yeah, he's gone. So if he's going to bed, I don't think they're doing anything else anymore. Thomas says some of these deputies make $20 an hour, not very desirable job to be honest, and training can be quite sparse and not uniform. There was an article out today. Here, I'll show it to you. About not American policing, but Australian policing. They were saying that the burnout rate for police is 3 years. 3 years and they quit. That's it. That's all you can get out of a new recruit now. The days of 25 years and working there until your retirement, apparently it just doesn't happen anymore. I'll see if I can find it. Hold on. Yeah, here. If it'll load, our StreamYard is being very slow. Here. So she was in Victorian Police where I live, and she said she joined, worked there, thought it was a great job, got to the end of her first year and realized this is not what I signed up for, and basically spent the next 2 years burning out and then leaving. And they're saying, yeah, the average person who goes through the academy and becomes a police officer is 3 years, and that's it. Then they have to replace them and find more people. So yeah, it's becoming an undesirable job. That is news, her job. Yeah. Um, we call that being a tool. Yeah. Let's have a look. Hey, Carly, good to see you. Sheriff was too worried about what Ashley Banfield was saying instead of securing the scene. I thought it was very odd. Why would you not just secure the home and leave it like that until this is all over? Why take down the tape, put it back up, secure the home, not secure it? Just leave it until you're done. There is no time limit. Just leave it and wait until you actually have like Nancy back to her family, and just leave it alone. Seal the door, put the little tape across the door, just leave it alone. No, no. This woman was a cop in Victoria. I don't know what her name is. Hold on. Here we go. Her name is Molly Gribble, and she's a former VicPol police officer in Victoria. So yeah, she was just detailing that basically the job sucks and she wanted to leave after a couple of years and that type of thing. So yeah, you're right about policing becoming a undesirable job. There you go. There's the family. I'll put that up there. Hey, thank you very much, Brian. I think we can give some away. Hold on. We haven't given any away this month. Give me 1 second. It'll go quiet, but I'll come back and I'll give away some memberships. Hold on. There you go. There you go. Um, I hope whoever got them, enjoy them. Thank you for being here. A few free memberships for people, and yeah, to go with Brian, who gave one to someone as well. I gave a few away as well. So thank you to all the people for being here. Thomas said crime scene security would be different if it was police. Yeah, if it wasn't county sheriff, it might be. It might have been different. Quite a trick, it is. We get so many through YouTube to give away each month. So every month YouTube gives us a bunch of memberships to give out to people. So I don't mind giving them out, and yeah, it's my pleasure. Okay, what do we got? What time is it? Okay, I think we're here. Just let me check this. Okay. All right. All right, guys. It's been a fun Saturday night. I've enjoyed it. I have a court day tomorrow. I'm back in the Supreme Court in Victoria tomorrow morning, and I'm in there for a court case. I actually can't tell you what it is right now, but I will tell you when I can. But it's an all day thing. Top Secret 2 said trying to send a super chat, but it isn't working. That's very kind of you, my friend. It's very sweet of you, but I appreciate it. Thank you. We've had some nice people tonight. My friend Vegemite Smile sent a very kind super chat. Sean sent one too, saying, Remember to like and subscribe." I hope people do. Brian gifted a membership. That is very kind, and I gave away a few as well. It's been a fun night hashing some issues out with you about Nancy Guthrie, and we'll be back soon. We're here almost every night of the week, doing different crimes, different cases, covering live trials from Victoria and America, and yeah. Noble said, "Good luck tomorrow. Let us know what is happening with Samantha's case." I can't. There's pre-trial reporting means that anything that happens before we get to the trial in April is unreportable. So it's like a gag order. Basically, the media can't talk about what we hear in any of the sessions before trial. But I think we use it to try and prepare for the trial itself. So we know what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, all that type of thing. So, but I will. When I can tell you things, I will tell you. Oh, the people who got the memberships was Kaliza, Whiskey Boots, Rainy Days, Sweet DS1, and Nana Jeannie Marie. Thank you to all of you guys. I appreciate it. And very kind of you all. Thank you. If you are a new member here, thanks for joining the channel. I hope it was a good night here and you've enjoyed hanging out with Ping and you learned a new channel. Noble said, "Did you get a gag order?" It's a bit different than that in the US. No. It is a law. It is a law. It's under the here. I'll tell you. Yeah, it's actually a law. It's under the it's not that one. It's under a law from 1958 or something. Might be under the Criminal Procedures Act of 2009. Or it might be the Open Courts Act of 2013. I'm not sure which one it is, but basically it means that anything before you actually get to the big trial is just unreportable. It just means that it allows the trial to be not prejudiced by information coming out before they get to the trial, which means the jury won't be impacted on that information being in the public domain. That's all it means. So as soon as I can tell you anything about Samantha Murphy, I will. I promise. Hey, Colleen, how are you? Hey, good to see you, my friend. You have a new theory. Hey, Lauren, how are you? Good to have you. Do you want to tell us your theory before we go? We're about to go. Do you want to tell us, or you want to save it for tomorrow? Noble said there was a bit of reporting on the mushroom saga beforehand. There was a little bit. I think since I know I know everything about Erin because I was at that trial, but there was a little bit. There was a little bit about her husband and stuff like that, but that was another night when we talk about Erin, I'll tell you why that was different. But I can't right now because we don't have an hour to talk about it. Yeah, you too. Thanks for being here. Nice to meet someone from Geelong. Yeah, I was at the mushroom trial. Yeah. All right. I love you all. Have a great night out there. Be safe. And if your team wins the Super Bowl tomorrow, don't climb any light, fixtures in your town. You'll fall off and probably die like everyone, there's every year someone tries to climb one and then they fall and then they're in hospital and everyone feels sad. Don't do that. But hey, good luck to your teams tomorrow. Oh, I don't know, Lauren. Her driver's license, is she an organ donor? I'm not sure. Maybe we can find out for you. MD 2020. I don't know how to pronounce that. Yes, maybe. All right. I love you all. Good to see you all tonight. Crazy chat tonight was amazing. Remember to hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Love you all. Bye.